So if Dave does have the one drink, okay, and he doesn't have the second drink, he's going to have confidence in his ability to have the one drink. And so he does it literally 30 days later. He has the one drink and he gets through it. He's okay, doesn't have the second drink. Eventually, he's going to have the second drink. That's what Alcoholics Anonymous teach you. It's going to happen.
Right.
It's a freight train. It's going to happen. And so it's not a question of, if he starts to have confidence in the one drink, it's going to bite him into you know what. Please comment to that fact. You develop a confidence that you're not entitled to.
How you can be the greatest salesperson on the planet.
Welcome to the Rethink Sales Show. My name is Derek Kelly. I am joined by Jim Shorkey and Dave Long. Dave, thanks for joining us again.
You're welcome.
You have been impacted by your Uncle Jim here, and you were just telling me off air about the power of getting sober and just what was that process like? And we teach a lot in Rethink You 2.0, which is a program that we have about the importance of having a plan and having to-do list and lots of other pieces to that, but really having a reason why, having that plan and having those goals that you're moving towards. What were the strategies you used to be sober now for nearly 7 years?
Right. It wasn't easy. The seed, so to say, was planted and in 2013. And that's really how a lot of good ideas start, is with the seed. Someone has to tell you, give you the idea. And so I unfortunately was sitting in a courthouse when that idea was given to me. The judge was reading a long list of violations that I had in my lifetime.
Wow. Yeah.
And she goes, you know what they all have in common? And I was like, no. She goes, they all involve alcohol. So we're talking 2 underages, a couple public drunkennesses, some disorderly conduct, 4 total DUIs in my lifetime. But at the time, it was just 1. And so the seed was planted. But I didn't want to put in the work. And I went to rehab and thought that maybe if I stopped drinking, but I just smoked marijuana, then I would be sober, but I wouldn't be clean. I'd just be sober. And that didn't work. That just led me back to drinking because I wasn't putting in any work. Big AA, Alcoholics Anonymous adage is, it works if you work it. You have to continually work to, in this case, for me, to stay sober. And there's a program. And I didn't work it. And I ended up getting 3 more DUIs in a 15-month time period. And by the grace of God, I didn't kill anybody. And the Allegheny County decided to put me in a house arrest program. And with that came more outpatient rehab. And it finally stuck, right? The seed finally sprouted. The fear of getting in trouble one more time and ending up in prison, not just Allegheny County jailhouse, I would be going to prison, really scared me. I have a 13-year-old son, and I wouldn't have been able to face him if I had to go to prison for a year or possibly longer. So really it stuck. And a lot of the placebo effect, I thought they gave me an ankle monitor that measured my blood alcohol content should I take a drink. Turns out that never was placed on my ankle, but I thought it was there. And so I was like, I can't drink because they're going to know. Yep. And so a year on house arrest, and with house arrest, you're allowed out of your house for some period of time. I wanted to work the system. That's part of who I am. And I decided that I was going to go to the last Alcoholics Anonymous meeting in Pittsburgh each day. And that was at 10 o'clock at night. And it's called the Night Owls meeting over at the Anala Club. And it's down near the Fort Pitt Bridge on West Carson Street. Anyhow, I went to work at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I had to go. There wasn't any other meeting I could go to, so I told my probation officer. So then I didn't have to go home until 11 o'clock at night. So I got to be out of the house from huge windows, and he allowed me to do that. And so with that, I spent a lot of time down at the Anala Club every day going to this meeting, and the repetition of all these sayings, adages that they give you when you walk in the door really started to stick. Alcoholics Anonymous is probably one of the most successful programs in the history of our country. Millions and millions of people have been helped. And the blueprint for Alcoholics Anonymous has been used for the blueprint for Overeaters Anonymous, Gamblers Anonymous, Cocaine Anonymous, Sex Addict Anonymous. Like it is, yeah, it is the foundation for a lot of these self-help, group help programs. And so it's very successful. And with that, with my sponsor, with the fellowship, because it is a we program, I was able to really get it to stick this time. And the 12th step is then helping people. And I don't often find myself with time to keep going to meetings, but I do take the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous very seriously, try to help people where I can. And I really, like I said, the adage is, it works if you work it. You got to work it continually.
Yeah.
You got to continue to live within that goal of staying sober.
Yeah.
every day.
Dave, do you feel like what was stopping you from making that move? Was it fear? Was it like, this is never going to happen anyway, so why try? What was the moment of, the seed got planted, but it seemed like it took a while for you to actually do something about it. What was in your head in 2013 when you're sitting there in that courthouse and you're hearing that read out to you? What are you thinking of? You got it a little bit in your heart, but it didn't play out in your actions.
And it was because I wasn't mature enough in it. I had spent, 2013, I'd have been 31. And I spent the previous decade plus few years drinking and drugging. And really that was how I built my personality.
So it was like part of your identity almost.
Almost, yeah. And that's really what it was. I was the guy that stayed out late. I was the night owl. I was the last man standing at a party. I'm not going to bed before everybody else. I was drinking the last beer. And to change that, the people I surrounded myself with they're not bad people, but
They made poor choices.
Yeah, they're making the same poor choices that I am. And one of my favorite AA sayings is, if you hang out in a barbershop long enough, you're going to get your hair cut. So if I hang out with guys that are partying and smoking weed or drinking beer, guys and girls, then I'm going to end up going back out. I'm going to pick up again. And that's not an option.
Yeah, and that's something we teach a lot about, Jim, is the importance of a mastermind alliance. Yes. And that's 2 or 3 people that are committed to a similar goal. See, when you started to surround yourself with people who are committed to a similar goal, it probably in some ways, and you can talk about this more and you could disagree, but it probably in some ways empowered you to start taking steps in the right direction.
Oh, absolutely.
Time out. I do disagree, because it's not 2 or 3 people. It's 2 or more people. So a mastermind alliance is 2 people united with a common purpose and sharing ideas. So that would be a mastermind alliance, but 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 100. So it's 2 or more people, according to Napoleon Hill.
Yep.
Okay, so not 2 or 3. I want to be clear about that, because that might put a limitation. It's only 3. No. In the case of Alcoholics Anonymous, I don't know, Dave, am I safe in saying it's millions of people?
Millions.
And he can literally, it gives me, I got a major chill. Anytime I get a chill in my body, I know I'm on the right track. Dave, tell me I'm wrong. He can be traveling, and he can be in Dallas, Texas, and have an episode. And before the episode comes to fruition, he can go to a meeting. So it's millions.
Right, millions. Yeah, there's
zillions.
There are meetings all over, at any given time, all over the world. It is a huge program. It's a huge network. And that's something that in 2013, I wasn't ready to reach out and ask for help. I thought Dave Long I was going to do the Dave Long program. I'm not doing the Bill and Dr. Bob program that was developed in the 30s. I'm going to do what Dave Long wants to do. And that's, again.
So it was like a sense of pride or arrogance.
Yeah, arrogance is more, I wouldn't say it was much pride, but yeah, definitely arrogance in that who's going to tell me what to do? And it eventually led to me drinking again, thinking I could control the drinking. I'm just going to have one. I know, and experience, I know now that I cannot just have one beer. Today, I might be able to have one, but that will lead to a second one, because I've given myself that go ahead. I can never, and I don't like to use absolutes, always and never. I'm not a big fan of those, but I can never, ever drink again, because as soon as I have that one, it could be weeks until I have another one, but I'm going to have another one.
Time out. I always want to be clear. Dave Long, right here, can never put alcohol in his mouth again. Of course, he can drink water, drink orange juice, whatever.
Right.
I just want to be clear because we're talking to an audience here. So Dave cannot put alcohol in his mouth. Can you expand on what I just said? It's alcohol that's the problem, not the water. And we know that. I just want to be clear. I like to really focus on the detail. This is a very big detail. Alcohol has to stay on the table. It can.
Right.
Hand picks up alcohol. Hand pours drink. Hand lifts drink up. Hand puts. There's a lot of decisions that are made here. Okay. He cannot put alcohol in his mouth. Please expand on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because as soon as I do, I'm going to, all the reservations are gone. Alcohol has the power to change your thinking immediately.
Yeah.
Your reservations, I'm never going to do this over here, will go away when you drink. Your likelihood of doing something that you would be embarrassed to do any other time, or you say you're not going to do, it's a crazy substance, alcohol, and how it acts within you. It's a poison. You know, and it really destroys your body from the inside out. It affects your mind. And for me, I suffer from alcoholism, so I cannot ever pick up again because I haven't had a drink in 6.5 years. I would be off to the races tomorrow. One is not enough, and 1,000, or no, I'm sorry, what's the adage? 1,000 is not enough, and one is too many.
Can I please expand on it?
Sure.
Because I have a very strong idea about this. So Dave Long, Jim Shorkey, Derek Kelly, we're sitting in the bar, we're sitting in the restaurant, we're sitting here right now, and we're sober, right? We're all sober, right?
Yep.
And so with a sober mind, we make a decision. It's a conscious decision to have a drink of alcohol. And in the case of myself and Dave Long, it's a bad decision, okay? So what's the second decision going to look like? The second decision is we are inebriated pretty quickly. Alcohol gets in your bloodstream very quickly. And so the second, if we made a bad decision sober, what kind of a decision are we going to make with a slight degree of inebriation? Probably going to have another drink. And now the third decision is we're getting a little buzz. Feels kind of good. We're excited. Now we make that third decision. I'll have another one. And next it's 10. And then it's the next day. It's like, you know what? I'm okay. I didn't die last night. So, and then now the merry-go-round starts.
Yeah, like the justification.
And
We're screwed big
Right.
time. So that is I think in my mind, is a great way to explain why you can't put that first drink in your mouth.
Absolutely.
You're sober for how long now?
6.5 years.
So 6.5 years, you're sober. And you've made several decisions to not put alcohol in your mouth. Yes or no?
Right, absolutely.
And now you're going to, out of the blue, make a decision to put alcohol in your mouth. Bad idea.
Horrible.
What's the second decision going to be? Under the influence. And you're screwed.
Yep.
Do you agree or
Continue.
disagree?
Oh, I totally agree. Totally agree.
Yeah.
And
you've probably been in situations where that's an option at a wedding,
Sure.
at a get together,
absolutely.
at a
Well, we all
cookout.
you go to a gas station anymore and it's right there. You can literally buy alcohol at any point in time throughout the day. And the decision to open the door, grab the can, pay for it, there's too many decisions. I don't want to make all those. I'm glad it's that many decisions because I would have to really put some thought into it.
Okay.
And I don't want to think that hard sometimes. So I'm just not going to do it.
Yep.
So if Dave does have the one drink, okay, and he doesn't have the second drink, he's going to have confidence in his ability to have the one drink. And so he does it literally 30 days later. He has the one drink and he gets through it. He's okay, doesn't have the second drink. Eventually, he's going to have the second drink. That's what Alcoholics Anonymous teach you. It's going to happen.
Right.
It's a freight train. It's going to happen. And so it's not a question of, if he starts to have confidence in the one drink, it's going to bite him into you know what. Please comment to that fact. You develop a confidence that you're not entitled to.
That's exactly. Alcoholism, called a disease. However it happens, I have it, right? I don't know the science behind it, genetics, but regardless, it is the one disease that really doesn't ever leave. It's waiting for you, for me to slip up, and it's going to jump out there. They used to say it's when we're in the AA meeting, that the disease is out in the parking lot doing push-ups.
Exactly.
It's getting ready. It's getting stronger. The farther we get away from it, the more it's ready to go. And I found out the hard way that in 2013, when I tried doing the Dave Long program and it didn't work, that I needed to seek expert counsel here. And the Alcoholics Anonymous is that expert counsel.
Wonderful.
I talked to my Uncle Jim. He's been through it. We have some other family members have been through it. And it's, what did they do? What did people do before me? And I'm just a number. I'm no more special than the next person. And if it worked for me or if it worked for other people, why not me?
Yeah, that's yes, I can.
Yeah.
December 26, 1993 was my last day. And I'm not going to tell the story right now, but just suffice to say that was my last day of drinking, of putting alcohol in my mouth. And so that should give you the hint.
Yeah.
I have a drinking problem. Am I an alcoholic? I don't know. I don't care. All I know is I needed to stop. And I did. And the wherefore and how for and what for, doesn't matter how Dave does it. He can't put alcohol in his mouth. And to his point from an earlier conversation, there is no organization on the planet that has helped more people than Alcoholics Anonymous. Not one. And as Dave said, it has expanded into all the different afflictions that we have in terms of addiction. Mm-hmm. And they all have, each one of those has the basic format of Alcoholics Anonymous, which is what is it, 12 steps?
12, yeah.
A 12-step program. And it's the same program. If you're addicted to porn, guess what? You got to stop. At some point, you got to stop gambling, all that stuff. So that would be you. I'm not here to preach. We're not here to preach.
No.
But if you do have that problem, in my opinion, and I think Dave would agree with me, there's not a better organization on the planet than Alcoholics Anonymous and its derivatives to help any one of us with that addiction.
Yeah, Dave, close us out with this. What would you say to someone who is in your position like you were in 2013, that's struggling, that hears this and wants to take that next step?
Find a meeting. There's plenty of resources online. There's apps that can tell you where to go, what time to be there. But in a city like Pittsburgh, we're blessed to really have, I couldn't put a number on it, at least a dozen meetings. It's definitely more than that each day, starting at 6 o'clock in the morning all the way to 10 o'clock at night. And on the weekends, you get even later. There's a meeting at 11 and there's another one at 11:30 on a Saturday or Friday night. And it's great people. And everyone's coming together with the same idea that we want to be sober. We want to help other people get sober. So you're not alone. And it gives you that ability to say, if Steve got sober, then I can too. Yes, I can. Yeah. It helps
But you got to want it.
Yeah.
And that's one of our
you got to
favorite-
want it. You
Which
definitely.
came from Mr. Hamilton. And you and I talked about that just recently.
Right.
So you even said, I'm carrying on that legacy. I said, Dave, it's not my legacy. I said, it's Mr. Hamilton. And he knows that. So you got to want it, which is desire. And yes, I can, which is faith. Desire backed by faith. And there's no such word as impossible. So if somebody else can quit the alcohol, guess what? So can I. And all I got to do is go find that somebody and say, tell me how you did it. And, oh, man, I can do that too. And so that's the list that Derek and I always talk about, the to-do list and the to-not-do list. And I think that's what the 12 steps are all about. These are the things you need to do. And within that 12 steps, it's not just all to-dos. There are some to-not-dos in there.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
I don't know that for a fact. I don't recall. But there's to-dos and to-not-dos. All right.
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea if you're trying to get sober, to go to a bar.
It's not. It's a bad idea.
You know, the one bar that I would go to, it took me 5 years. They had some great pizza rolls. And it was right around the time I was 5 years sober. I took David. I said, hey, you know what? We got to go get these pizza rolls.
We're powerful now.
They're delicious. And I walked in there. The bartender was like, hey, I haven't seen you for a while. I said, it's 5 years. I said, you haven't seen me in 5 years. And
Good for you.
We laughed, and I was surprised he remembered me. It must have had some sort of impact, probably a negative one.
Probably fell off a bar stool.
I stumbled out of the bathroom. Who knows? But it gave me some power to walk in there after so long and taste these pizza rolls that I had eaten before, but I didn't really taste them. And they were as good as I thought, if not better. But it's important. My son sees it. We talk about drugs and alcohol a lot.
Yeah.
With his sports, he's lucky enough to have a coach that brings it up at practice. And why would you spend so much time building yourself up just to tear it down with something like alcohol? And it doesn't do us any good.
And I think initially, Dave, and again, tell me I'm wrong, please. You can argue with me. You know that we've argued before about different stuff. But I think the basic message that we have to take away from Alcoholics Anonymous and Dave Long today, and Jim Shorkey as well, is not today. Not today. Yeah. I'll worry about tomorrow, but just not today.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, to live
not
life
today.
24 hours at a time.
Not today.
One day at a time.
Hold on. It is. That's an Alcoholics Anonymous adage. One day at a time. Not tomorrow, just today. Can I stay sober today? I'll deal with tomorrow. And when he does get to tomorrow, still to this day, wakes up in the morning, he probably not as much as previously, but at the same time, it's not today.
Right.
So he goes into the bar. It's a bar. Alcohol all over the place. People drinking all over the place. And initially, no, bad idea. Now, it's not today.
Right.
This ain't happening today. We're going to have our pizza rolls. I'm with my son. We're going to have a good time, and then we're going to go home and go to bed. Tell me where I'm wrong.
You're not. And life on life's terms, it gives you the ability to really see that, yeah, you might be in a bad spot and be stuck, but with a clear mind and an open heart, I can get through anything.
Good for you.
Alcohol, hanging my head at on a bar stool, or sitting at home and avoiding the situation, isolating myself from a situation, that's not healthy. And the pain is going to still be there. It allows me to really just move through life with a little bit of grace and a lot of gratitude. Gratitude is the attitude in this case. And
Yes.
it's another one of those adages that I stole from Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yeah, it's a good one. Good one.
Dave, thank you for being so vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
You were just really honest. You could have sugarcoated some things, but you didn't. You stayed true to what really happened in the story of it didn't change overnight, but it changed with consistent action and focus and diligence and Mastermind Alliance and expert counsel. Those things are crucial.
Thank you, brother. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you,
I'm so
Uncle
very
Jim.
proud of you. You're just really something. And isn't this all this a prelude to what you're going through today with David?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it a prelude? Isn't it the same thing?
Oh.
It's a 12-step program, 8 steps, 7 steps, 25 steps. I don't know what that looks like. You do. You're working on it. But isn't the advice that you received from Alcoholics Anonymous, is it serving you today in this journey with your son, David, who's been diagnosed with, say it, I don't know.
Osteosarcoma.
Yeah. This is a tough thing.
Bone cancer.
But isn't it the same thing?
Yeah,
In essence?
absolutely. And David and I, we had the same conversation, and I said, what if, because there's a higher power out there. I don't know what the plan is for me, but what if I had to be 6.5 years sober before I could get this news? Because one of the things in rehab is you make a list of what are your reservations? What are the things that, are going to make you drink again? And I said, the death of my grandfather, my grandpa Long, meant the world to me. He just died about a month ago and I didn't drink. The death of one of my parents, that's on the list. Close people to me. Luckily, I haven't had to cross that bridge, but my son's cancer diagnosis I didn't put that on the list, but would have been there had I thought that far ahead 6.5 years ago. And there's nothing good would come from drinking.
No.
There is literally nothing no benefit to it. It would just really delay the action and the reaction time. And we don't have time for that.
So to clarify, excuse me for interrupting, but nothing good is going to come out of it. But the potential for a whole lot of bad to come out of it is enormous. Please speak to that.
Yeah. If I don't go in with a clear mind and an open heart, then well, maybe I'm questioning the doctors. Maybe the doctors say something I don't want to hear. And so I'm changing doctors. Right now, David's got a great team surrounding him. And if I were inebriated, if I was drunk or in a haze when we go to a doctor's appointment, and I'm not thinking things through, I could make some irrational decisions. Let's face it, I did make irrational decisions when I drank. I got behind the wheel of a car.
Me too.
Thousands of times. I broke a storefront window and ended up with 48 stitches. That's so many bad things have happened that I just need good things to happen now.
Yes, we do.
And I can't run the risk of causing more damage. Yeah, alcohol's got to go.
No alcohol.
Yeah.
Zero tolerance.
Right.
Zero. Not even a thimble of alcohol. Nope, not happening.
It's
Okay, not for this cat.
Listerine to zero alcohol.
Good for you.
You know,
Good for
that's
you.
little things like that, but it means a lot. You know, and making little changes to your everyday behavior will add up, and it's part of that pace and patience that you talk about.
Bring him up.
know.
Derek, that's a whole lot. This is a whole lot. So I'd like you to speak to
Pace.
Rethink You.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you close it out.
Yeah.
And I want Dave to hear what you have to say about Rethink You and what that truly means.
Yeah.
Okay?
You're really following the process we teach of here's the reason why. Then the 5 agreements, desire, faith, there's some others, right? You have those in place. And then you're like, okay, we have a strategic continuum. What's our plan? Then we have the creative cycle, which is, hey, if I get in a situation where I'm going to drink, if I choose yes, here's what's going to happen. If I choose no, here's what's going to happen. And then you get into what simple steps can I take today? Okay.
Do simple first.
I'm going to take David down here. We're going to enjoy our pizza rolls, but I'm not going to drink. I'm going to do simple. It's simple. Want to spend time with my son? We're going to do something fun. But you're almost like redeeming that time. You used to sit at that bar and make terrible decisions.
Right.
Now you're sitting there making excellent decisions, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And now you're in this situation. So it's okay, moving into some of the things that we talk about, like discipline journaling and some of those other pieces, this personal declaration of independence. These pieces are more, what am I going to do today? What's my plan? What am I writing out to myself to remind myself of where we're heading? And you're living a lot of those pieces without ever saying it. Who's my mastermind alliance? Who am I surrounding myself with? This team for David. That's here.
Okay, and I
Ready
think
to
you're
serve.
missing a key
Yeah.
component. And I love you. I love you. Believe me, I'm not criticizing. But let's think about Rethink You 2.0 and what does that mean? The thinking that got this guy into the alcohol problem is that. Now, you tell me if Alcoholics Anonymous is going to agree with me or disagree with me. I'm open, okay? So he had a certain level of thinking that got him into that scenario. In order for him to get out of that scenario, it was mandatory that he change his thinking.
Yeah.
Hence, Rethink You. Dave Long, my nephew, a wonderful human being. I'm so proud of you, kiddo. He had to rethink himself. Does that make sense? He had to rethink himself because if he kept the same thinking, he's back in the bar. So he had to change his thinking. Dave, can you expand on that, please? Tell me if you think I'm right or wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're absolutely right. And that's why there's steps to the Alcoholics Anonymous program, any self-improvement program, because you can't do it all at once. And you have to be able to have a roadmap, so to say. So step 1, admit that I'm powerless to alcohol and that I need help. And it goes from there. And step 4, you're making a list of your defects and your things that might lead you to drink. And step 5, you're telling that to somebody else. So things that I was not comfortable talking to people about. Hey, but it gets it out. I try to tell David all the time that writing is such a powerful tool.
It is.
When you take your mind and you put it on paper and you're able to get things out of your head, then you're able to reread it. You can light it on fire. You can do whatever you want with it, but it's out. And the art of writing, unfortunately, in today's world is starting to dwindle. I think with typing just doesn't have the same effect, you know.
It does not.
And maybe I'm a little old in the tooth for that, but I just feel like putting pen to paper is a powerful tool. You're able to think about, why do I drink? Why? And then steps 7, 8, and 9 are changing you see the promises that alcohol, I've been sober for so long. I'm not really worried about financial. I don't have a lot of money, but I'm not worried about paying my bills because I'm not in the bar. I have the money that I would spend frivolously. So now I'm able to do a little bit more with my life. And it all starts with the little seed that gets planted, and it grows into this big oak tree if you allow it.
Yes. Pick up the 2 signs, please. So when you talk about, Dave, when you talk about the 12 steps, you have to pace yourself.
Right.
Yes or no?
Absolutely.
And you have to be very patient.
Yeah.
Because like you said earlier, very profoundly, hey, I've been doing this crap for how many years?
Yeah.
The previous you.
Right. 10 years.
Do you really think you're going to reverse 10 years of habit and exercise and thought, all kinds of bad stuff in a day?
Right.
In a month? Oh, I got this. I've been doing Alcoholics Anonymous for a month. How long does it take you to really change this thing? I don't think you'll get the answer. I'm going to give it to you, but tell me what you think it's going to take for you to really get this thing to where it's like mastery.
Oh, something like this. I don't know if you ever really can master it.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
Lifetime. This is a lifetime.
You got to continually work.
A lifetime.
You learn, keep your mind open.
Yeah.
I like to tell new cooks, eyes open, mouth shut,
Good
ears
for you,
open.
man. That's profound. So the alcohol is hiding in the bush, and the fact that you haven't had it for 30 years, it's still hiding in the bush.
Right.
It's there. And so it's a lifetime. That's my answer. You agree?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
This is what pace, okay, and patience is all about. We got to be patient. And like you said, I think that was very cool what you said about giving yourself grace, because all of us are flawed. We all are flawed. We are. I'm flawed. Dave's flawed. Derek's flawed. Right. Jess is, we're flawed. And so in order for us to overcome our flaws, and again, I don't know that we ever get to 100%, but boy, we can get pretty darn close. We have to pace ourselves, and we have to be patient with ourselves. And I'm not here to talk about Jim Shorkey, but when I was in the hospital with my stroke, very quickly, in the hospital with my stroke, my daughter Katie knows her father, and she knows that I'm a very impatient person, and she knows that I don't pace myself. And so she talked to me about this, and I said, I need those signs. And I just got those signs today off of my bathroom vanity. And why do I have those signs on my bathroom vanity? Because I need the constant reminder, the constant reinforcement. I had a stroke 2 years ago, but I'm not done yet. I got work to do. So I think the signs are important.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to get. I got a hold of Derek too late. He was on his way here. I wanted to get you some You Gotta Wanna signs, and I wanted to get you some Yes I Can signs. So we're going to do that, right? Yeah. I want this guy to have those signs, and I think he does. Yeah. But I want him to have more. Yeah. I want I want my 13-year-old. How would that be?
Great nephew.
Yeah. Great nephew. I want him to have that because this kid's unbelievable. He is unbelievable. And I think those signs would serve him well. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we're going to get that. Can you do that for me? I want him to have You Gotta Wanna, and Yes I Can. And I want him to be able to think when he looks at those signs, desire backed by faith, and there's no such word as impossible. How do I turn impossible into possible? By growing my desire and by growing my faith. And that's a whole other subject, but good work, David.
Thank you.
Good work.
Thank you.
Dave.
Thank you,
I
Dave.
keep calling you Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
It's Dave.
Yeah.
Actually, your mom calls you David.
Sometimes
She does. She does a lot.
Or Davey, or
Yeah.
there's 3 different names there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll
No,
answer
that's all.
anything.
Thanks so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you,
for
guys.
having me on.
Yeah. We'll see you on the next episode.